Well, gotta say it's actually kind of neat seeing that now the chapter name is literally called the Nanami route. Here's hoping that this recording session actually has some good story results and not a degenerate that probably needs mental help, even though he's a delusional existence. Dude needs help. Anyway, I had to censor so much of the last episode, I really hope I don't have to do it this time. Sitting on the couch myself, I stared idly at the Seraton poster hanging above my PC. The room was completely clean now. After telling Nanami everything, she'd gone silent for a moment out of fear before breaking the silence with a, "You know what? Let's clean up in here." It had taken 2 to 3 hours for things to get this clean. Guess she'd figured that keeping herself moving would mean she wouldn't have to think about everything else. She was lying in bed now. When was the last time that bed had been used for its intended purpose? I actually had used it for a couple of months back when I first started living here. Or at least I felt like I had. It was always such a hassle cleaning this place up. Every time I did it, it was total hell, and I just couldn't wait for it to be over. As things were now, though, I was glad it was actually clean for once. Last night, Nanami had slept on the couch, and I on the floor. So I couldn't be any happier to be sleeping on the couch tonight, because goddamn had that not been comfortable. No. That said, I was a night owl by nature, so unlike Nanami, I wouldn't be drifting off so early. Well, yesterday had already ended, so I guess right now it was technically early. I usually hit the sack once the sky started to brighten up. So yeah, I was pretty much just lying there on the couch staring off into space. Had Nanami fallen asleep yet? Judging by her breathing, probably not. Then, as if she'd somehow heard my thoughts, Nanami began to squirm around. She tossed and turned for a moment before eventually showing her face.
ねえ、お兄。
寝てなかったの？
うん。
Nanami looked like she had something on her mind. After a moment, she timidly spoke up.
あのね、一緒に寝てあげようか?
Okay.
あ、別にナナが一緒に寝たいわけじゃないよ。ほら、ダメダメお兄は怖くて一人じゃ寝つけないみたいだから、本当は嫌だけど、今日だけは特別ってことで。
See? She had I mean, like, I knew what she meant. It should be plainly obviously what she meant. It's just that our protagonist is Taku. If this were anybody else, this would probably just be not as bad. But this is Taku we're talking about. Her voice slowly got weaker and weaker as she spoke. Try as she might to keep up the front, at the end of the day, Nanami was just too scared to sleep. So, that was how I'd ended up in this situation.
もし、いやらしいことしたら、本気で怒るからね。
Please do. Also castrate him.
するわけないだろ。
わかんないじゃん。ついムラムラしちゃったりするんじゃないの?
Could you not, please?
しないって言ってるだろ。妹にムラムラなんかできるか。
Like, goddamn it, it's shit like this that makes it hard to sit through novels like this.
それはそれでちょっとショック。少しくらいムラムラしてほしいな。
Just push through
誰
it.
かするか。文句ばっかり言うなら一緒に寝るのはなしだ。
ごめんなさい。もう言いません。
Please do. Nanami went silent, pursing her lips in a pout. This was way more embarrassing than I'd anticipated. My heart was beating oddly fast. Sure, she was my sister, but never once had I ever been this close to a 3D girl. Not to mention we were literally sleeping in the same bed. She's your sister. I'd audibly said I wasn't ever going to get turned on, but the truth was that I'd been... Come on, just push through it. Push through it. Just push through it. That had been a lie. Frankly speaking, I was already borderline. God, why Nanami have to be staring at me? Close your eyes already. Don't look as embarrassing.
なんだか変な感じだね。
What?
ねえ、お兄はナナのこと鬱陶しいって思ってる？
Oh my lord.
ふーん、思ってるんだ。
He does. I mean, she was right. I did. She was a brat. She was always yapping on and on about dumb shit, and she was always finding some way to interfere with my life. Though I suppose it was more fitting to say that I'd used to think of her that way. For the past couple of days or so, I've been spending more and more time with her. And during that time, even then, when she was feeling so incredibly weak, she'd still put on a smile and put up with a pathetic person like me. When I thought of it that way, it made me start to think that my sister was genuinely a source of comfort to me. Maybe even a really big one.
思ってないよ。
別に思われたって平気だよ。ただね、勘違いしてほしくないんだけど、ナナはお兄のこと嫌いなわけじゃないからね。
Oh. Okay, where the hell did that come from?
お兄って前入院してたでしょ？それで
入院はしてない。通院してただけだ。
Oh my god, the memory confusion here. She has memories of when he was in the hospital, but at the moment he doesn't.
嘘、入院してたじゃん。
してない。お前の勘違い。
そうだっけ？まあいいけど、とにかくお兄が学校も行けなくて大変だった時にナナがしっかりしなくちゃって思うようになったの。
Okay, that is twice now that she has had an actual memory of the real Taku, and then she just brushes it aside after being told don't think about it.
いつもお兄に口うるさくあれこれ言ってたのだって、そういう理由なんだよ。お兄が嫌いだったからとかじゃないよ。昔はお兄が病院に行くようになる前はナナはいつもお兄に甘えてたよね。
Huh.
お兄はナナにとっては頼りになるお兄だった。お兄のこと大好きだった。
Past tense, huh?
だから今度はナナがしっかりして少しでもお兄の負担にならないようにしてお兄の役に立とうと思って。あんまり役に立ててたかどうかわかんないけど。
ダメな兄貴で。ごめん。
Thank you, fucking, for once. I wish shit wasn't so goddamn weird, but thank fuck you finally apologized for being a shitty brother. I know he's but I'm just saying this iteration. Maybe it was because of where I was, but for whatever reasons it was easier to say things I wouldn't normally say.
気にしないでいいよ。兄弟だもん。それにナナは昔の頼りがいのあるお兄のことも知ってるし。どんなにダメでもナナはお兄のこと嫌いになんてならないからね。
ナナミ。
So that was how Nanami felt. I was incredibly happy. At this point, I would never stop kicking myself for thinking that having a 3D sister would suck ass. Having a sister, having Nanami was a blessing.
でも今日はちょっとだけ甘えてもいい？さっきは強がり言っちゃったけど、本当はね、一人で横になってるとどんどん怖い想像ばっかりしちゃうんだ。
Completely understandable considering the situation you found yourself in. You have no memory of what happened? Anybody would be fucking terrified.
だからお兄に甘えたかったの。安心したかったの。
Nestling her body up against mine, Nanami buried her face in my chest. She smelled really nice.
ずっとこうしたかったんだ。ずっとお兄に甘えたかったんだ。
I couldn't help but embrace her slender body, and then hugged her tighter, then tighter. As long as I had Nanami, nothing else mattered. I didn't need Seraton, thank you. I didn't need people bowing down to me in ESO. All I needed was Nanami, a girl of flesh and blood, a girl who always had me on her mind. Feeling her warmth on my skin put my mind entirely at ease, and next thing I knew, I was falling into a deep, gentle sleep. Huh. Well, I'm glad that kind of ended up better. When I woke up, I was lying on the couch. Ah, crap, vision's wibbly wobbly. That was weird. I thought I'd been asleep in my bed with Nanami. Had I woken up just enough to make my way over here, but not enough to realize it? I looked up at the bed, only to see a bulge under the sheets. Nanami must still have been asleep. I checked the time on my phone. Okay, so that's 8:11? Wait, 8 p.m. Wait, huh? Huh? I felt an odd sense of discomfort. Something wasn't right. I had no idea what, though. It was like my brain had no idea what was going on anymore. What date is it today? Well, my dumbass American brain is telling me it is the 4th of November. However, looking at it, if I reverse it, it's probably the 11th of April. If I remember correctly, I was pretty sure it wasn't November yet. Okay, so we're going with November. Wait, what? I mean, how the hell could I have gone to sleep and then woken up at 8 p.m.? Wait, did that mean I'd slept for almost 20 straight hours? Yeah, not a chance. It didn't matter how much I'd let my guard down since I was with Nanami. There's no way I would have gotten that much shut-eye. Don't you have to really try to sleep for over 20 hours? I had to wonder if my phone was just broken and therefore the date and time were wrong. But when I checked, the date of my time on my PC were the same as my phone. A little past 8 p.m. on November 4th. Okay. What the fuck is going on? Muttering that to myself, I connected to the internet, opening both my browser and email as I scoured the latest news. But no matter where I looked, the date always indicated November 4th. I read through countless news articles before one in particular caught my eye. Oh! Boy, I can't read that fast. Go back up. The article was dated October 28th, 1 week ago. A Japanese boy claimed that he was going to use his clairvoyance to expose the true culprit behind the colloquially named New Gen, and that it would all happen that very night, at Scramble Crossing. The boy was deemed to be a worthy successor by the very popular psychic detective Yuri Brightman, adding some weight to his claim. As a letter of the questionable origin was signed by Yuri Brightman himself, it was believed to be highly credible, leading Today TV and Fujisan TV to begin a live broadcasting starting at 9 p.m. I'm mush-mouthing. And yet, their judgment would soon be found to be incredibly poor. In the end, the boy never showed, leaving the onlookers gathered in Scramble Crossing very upset, and with nowhere to direct their anger. The event was viewed as a travesty by the public, leading to a large amount of protests occurring against Today TV and Fujisan TV. The PR department of Today TV tells Zako. With the recent earthquake and the new gen cases, the eyes of the entire nation are all on Shibuya. As a public broadcasting organization, we admit that while the source may have indeed been questionable, we deem that it had merit in broadcasting. We stand by this decision. Oh, this is because this is the moment where we refused to go to the TV, or go to the station. Could all this be connected to Shogun and the email he'd sent summoning me? Shogun had definitely sent me an email saying to come to the O Front at 9 p.m. That couldn't be just a random coincidence. And what's more... What the hell? Something was wrong. Something was off here. Wait. Numbskull, finger food, DQN puzzle, to be continued. Wait, hold on. Whoa. Hold on, what? For one, the 6th new gen case should have been the Dominatrix. And 2, there had been a 7th new gen case. DQN puzzle, new gen? What? When did all that happen? Wait, what's going on here? What the? Staring at the new gen bulletin, I froze completely. It took the sound of Seraton's voice to bring me back to myself. Apparently I had an ungodly amount of new emails and my computer was finally ready to download them all. I'm gonna kill you. You think I'm stupid? Shogun. $53 new emails? And they were all from Shogun? Every single title was openly, entirely confrontational. I'd never once seen Shogun swear like that before, because it can't be Shogun. It's gotta be Suwa. Feelings of fear and confusion made a disgusting, nasty sweat bead across my entire body. Nervous as could be, I clicked open the most recent email. Not a single reply all week. I'm not the sort of moron you're making me out to be. If that's your plan, then I'll see to it that Nanami-chan gets tortured even more. If I overdo it a bit and she ends up dead, don't blame me for it. It'll be all your fault, not mine. You're the bad guy here. What was going on here? What was going on, damn it? Calm down. Take a deep breath. Then stop for a second and think. This was all just a delusion. Yeah, it was all just a dream. Just a dream, Takumi. I was gonna wake up, and then the laugh track would ensue. Then I'd realize that I was sleeping with Nanami in my bed, and then I'd be back in reality. A knocking sound resounded from my door. It was coming from outside. Who was it? I held my breath, eyes glued to the door. Silence. No sign of life at all. But the moment I thought I'd just been hearing things, the knocking sound came again. I hadn't been hearing things. Oh God. Was it Shogun? After all this time, had he finally come here to kill me? And yet when I heard the voice from beyond the door, it was beyond even my wildest expectations.
Nami.
Huh? How? My eyes snapped up to the bed. Nanami should have been asleep there. There was a bulge right under the white sheets.
Oi, Nanami. Okiro.
I climbed partway up to the ladder, then told Nanami to wake up. And yet the sheets didn't move an inch. Something wasn't right.
Nanami!
I violently threw them off, and beneath them were just a bunch of cardboard boxes. Nanami wasn't there. My mind went blank. And not only was Nanami not there, but the bed wasn't even clean. It would have been impossible to sleep in. There were boxes upon boxes stuffed full of manga and eroge. That was how it had looked before Nanami had cleaned it up yesterday, but now it was right back to normal. Right back to being a spot I used for storage. Wait, hadn't Nanami cleaned up yesterday? I looked around the room. Not a damn thing about it was even close to clean. Why hadn't I noticed that sooner after waking up a few minutes ago? I was at a total loss. My memories were all jumbled up. I heard a voice from outside again. Nanami's voice. Who was that Nanami? Where was the Nanami I'd slept with? What happened to the naked, trembling Nanami? I didn't understand. I didn't understand a damn thing! I stumbled my way to the door, then clung onto it. The inside was locked with a padlock. This entire container had been a locked room. Ooh, locked room mysteries. Sorry, got Umineko on the brain. It would have been impossible for Nanami to sneak out while I'd been asleep. I was on the brink of tears. This had to be an attack from Shogun. Still, I knew I had to open the door, because outside was Nanami's voice. It was incredibly, incredibly weak, and it was calling for me. And so I undid the lock, and then I slowly opened the door. Well, shit! Nanami was there, wearing her missing uniform, her entire body covered in blood, her right hand severed, wielding a blade I'd never seen before. A D-sword. Her hollow eyes turned toward me. Stunned as could be, I couldn't say a word.
どうしてあの時来てくれなかったの？1週間も待ってたのに。お兄、助けてってずっと呼んでたのに。
This was a delusion. This was a delusion. This was a delusion!
右手が痛いの。返して。7の右手。右手を返して。朝起きてから右手がちょっとズキズキするの。
Which was real? Which was a delusion? What was I looking at? Who had I been talking to until now? Where'd that Nanami gone? Where'd this Nanami come from?
お兄。
Suddenly, I heard Nanami's voice come from behind me. In front of me was Nanami covered in blood. Behind me was Nanami calling out to me. Fear gripping me, I nervously turned around, and behind me was Nanami, wearing the clothes I'd lent her, her right hand still perfectly attached. There were two Nanamis.
そいつ誰？
Oh, the sick realization that whoever this Nanami must have been somebody from the church. The two Nanamis spoke in unison. When Nanami saw Nanami, her expression grew puzzled. When Nanami also saw Nanami, her expression grew tearful. Caught between two Nanamis, I
これは妄想だ。
sank to the floor, clutching my head. If this was a delusion, I wanted to wake up already. I didn't want to see a delusion this horrifying. And no matter how much I wanted to wake up, I couldn't get back to reality.
その偽物何なの？
The blood-stained Nanami shifted and swayed. She held on to her D-sword, a sword both pitiful and sinister, with a height comparable to even her own.
なんで偽物がお兄と一緒にいるの？そいつのせいでナナを助けに来てくれなかったの？
Is it her fault you didn't come to see? Oh.
ナナは偽物じゃないよ。そっちこそそんな変な剣持って偽物じゃん。
Both voices belong to Nanami. Both faces belong to Nanami. Both called me Big Bro. Which Nanami was real? Which Nanami was fake? Were they both real? Were they both fake?
偽物のくせにお兄から離れてよ。
The blood-stained Nanami brandished her D-sword with one hand, then swung it with incredible ease. The end of it was aimed straight toward the non-blood-stained Nanami's neck. Making no attempt to avoid it, Nanami froze in place. It hit her head on. The brutal, unforgiving edge of the D-sword dug into her neck, and then it slipped right through. The non-bloodstained Nanami should have been decapitated, and yet there wasn't even a drop of blood. She wasn't even injured. She simply stood there, just as she had been the whole time. There wasn't any doubt that Nanami had swung the D-sword, and with that amount of force behind it, Nanami's head should have been blown clean off.
やっぱり偽物。あれ？ナナはなんで？
Oh my god, he created a fake. Stop.
偽物だからだよ。偽物じゃない。
Shut up already.
お兄、離れて。そいつから離れて。違うよお兄。ナナはここにいるよ。
黙れよ。
I couldn't help but scream. It was all just so goddamn confusing!
どっちかが妄想だ。僕の妹はナナミは二人は存在しないんだ。
I alternated between the two Nanamis, comparing them. Both looked like Nanami to me, so I turned to the one wearing my sweatshirt. I wished from the bottom of my heart that this Nanami was real. That the Nanami I'd held tightly in my bed was real. And so I followed my desire. I reached my hand toward her face, all so I could gently brush her cheek. But, just like the D-sword before me, my hand slipped right through her. Even though Nanami was right there, I couldn't touch her. I felt nothing there. Mutual recognition. A delusion becomes reality when mutual recognition is achieved. With Takumi by himself, she was real. However, when somebody else is here and recognizes that they are a delusion, mutual recognition no longer is not possible. Especially when they are a delusion Or when they're staring at their own, a delusional representation of themselves. As if she were a holographic projection. I was overwhelmed by an uncontrollable sadness. Tears flooded from my eyes in large drops.
嘘だよ。ナナは偽物じゃないよ。ねえお兄、そうだよね。そうだって言ってよ。
Nanami tried to cling on to me, and I tried to hold her in return. And yet, just as I feared, the Nanami before me had no substance. My hand slipped right through her body.
違う。違うもん。ナナはここにいるもん。
Nanami's right hand firmly grasped my left. I could feel it! I could feel her frail strength grasping my hand. I could feel neither her body, nor her head, nor her neck. Only her right hand was touching me. Oh my god, a sick realization just hit me. That is her right hand. Specifically the right hand that was severed. He mentally broke and imagined a delusional existence that is attached to the decapitated right hand.
化け物。
The Nanami without a right hand shouted out.
お兄から今すぐ離れて。
The very next second, all power drained from her body, and while still holding on to her D-sword, she fell to the ground with a thud. Sweat was pouring from that Nanami's forehead. The color was draining from her face. Considering her right hand had been cut off and she was bleeding profusely, it was only a matter of time until she passed out. An awful thought passed through my mind. I knew it couldn't be true, but I couldn't stop myself from thinking about it. In my mind, it was the only answer to all of this. An answer that was no less than a nightmare.
そうだよ。
I heard a voice. A voice that wasn't Nanami's.
タクが今考えた通りなの。
It's exactly what I think it is, isn't it? Behind the fallen Nanami, standing outside the door, was...
リミ。
Wielding a wing-like D-sword, Saki Hatarimi was standing right there. Our eyes met. She looked at me with deeply sad eyes.
あなたが今右手を握っているそのナナちゃんはあなたがリアルブートしようとしている存在。
Real boot?
現実に耐えられなくなったあなたが産んだの。理想度を持ってるナナちゃんが本物なんだよ。嘘言わないでよ。ナナの方が本物だもん。タク、あなたはナナちゃんの切断された手首を見てショック状態になったの。
I knew it.
そして妄想した。そんな手首は見てないって。ナナちゃんは5体満足で無事だって。
I fucking knew it. I hadn't seen a hand. Shogun had only sent a bloodstained cell phone. Or had the hand been there? Maybe I'd been trying not to see it. Maybe I'd been refusing to. So she was saying that Nanami being naked was something I'd made up? And that the real Nanami, the one who was standing in front of me covered in blood and missing her right hand, had been kidnapped by Shogun?
嘘だ。
本当なの。ねえタク、今すぐ妄想するのをやめて。あなたがしようとしていることは、人間を一人丸々作り出すっていう恐ろしい行為なんだよ。あなたは今、核兵器のエネルギーをも上回る力を使ってる。
Holy shit!
そのせいでこの1週間、あなたはほとんど昏睡状態だった。自覚してないかもしれないけど。タク、このままじゃ本当にこの世界に2人のナナちゃんがいることになるの。
Just as there are two Takumis.
それにあなたがその妄想に力を使えば使うほど命の灯火が失われていく人がいるんだよ。
Yep.
だから
嘘だ。
ごめんね。あなたを守れなかった私の責任だよね。だけどお願い。辛いかもしれないけど現実を見て。今すぐ妄想を止めて。お兄、消さないで。
Oh, this is so fucked up!
これ以上妄想を続けるなら私があなたを殺す。
Jesus. I shook off Nanami's right hand. It was all too much. I couldn't take it anymore. I didn't have the slightest clue what to believe. Believing Rimi's explanation, I just couldn't. Believing Nanami, who's standing there in tears, I just couldn't. Believing Nanami, who's lying there grasping a D-sword, I just couldn't. Believing me, myself, and what I felt, I just couldn't. What I wished for was something simple. A quiet, peaceful life with nothing to disturb it. A wonderful, blissful future with Nanami, with my sister. You're turning your eyes from reality. That was all I wished for. That was all I hoped for. Was I not allowed that wish? Was I not allowed that hope? Then everyone should just disappear. This whole world should just be erased. And in my own head, disturbed by no one inside my delusion, I could live in a world neither real nor fake. A world with just the two of us. Just me and one Nanami.
僕は
I peered into Nanami's eyes. They were glistening with tears. Nanami was looking at me.
ナナミがいてくれればそれでいいんだ。
I whispered that aloud, and the very next second, the world jolted.
サードメルト。
My wish had come true. The world was enveloped in white. All and everything was consumed by it. And as literally as could be, it was all erased. Holy fuck! When I opened my eyes, I saw the familiar ceiling of my container house. I was lying on my back, right on top of my bed. Huh? Had I fallen asleep? It felt like I'd just been dreaming about something truly horrifying, like I'd just been dreaming about something truly nauseating. But it had just been a dream. It couldn't have been anything else. Whether that was reality or just a dream didn't matter to me. Whether this was reality or just a delusion didn't matter either. I felt a gentle weight on my chest. Moving my eyes toward it, I saw her. It was Nanami, sprawled out on my chest. Our eyes met. Nanami was watching me closely, her eyes wet, her cheeks dyed the color of cherry blossoms.
昨日の夜はありがとう。
At first, I didn't understand what she meant.
ナナの気持ち受け入れてくれて嬉しかった。
What?
お兄に愛してもらえて嬉しかった。お兄のこと今までよりずっと好きになっちゃった。
Oh, God, no. Right, so this must have been one of those so-called character routes you saw in Eroge, and surprisingly enough, I took the situation in stride. Nanami seemed cuter than ever right now. I couldn't help but think about how lovable she was. I saw her both as my sister, and I'm going to throw up.
これからもたくさんナナのこと愛してね。
だが断るって言ったら
Old habits die hard, I guess. Nanami's face soured as she sat up.
もう真面目な話してるのにお兄のバカ。
She got out of bed. Crap, how could I possibly make it up to her? That was when I noticed what was in my hand. Bringing it closer to my face, I realized what it was. A bangle. It wasn't the one I'd given her before, however. This one was way fancier. Way cuter. It would look really good on her. Thinking that to myself, I got out of bed too. This is depressing. This is fucked up and depressing.
ナナミこれプレゼント
He probably just erased, like, I bet you all that's left is like a white expanse of a void and all that's left is this container. This is a genuine bad ending. If this is how it's gonna end, this is a genuine bad ending. Fuck, this might actually, I don't know if this one's even worse than the other one. Because if it really just happened, rest of the world, pfft, gone. I slipped it on Nanami's right wrist as she stared blankly at me. It was a little like putting a wedding ring on her finger, and that made me feel pretty damn awkward.
あー、かわいいバングルだ。ナナにくれるの？
At least we can just fucking rip this one off like a band-aid, and then I never have to think about this one ever again. When I nodded, Nanami smiled from the bottom of her heart. She looked happier than I'd ever seen her before.
大事にするね。
ナナミ僕たちはずっと一緒だよね
This is so fucked up, man.
いきなりどうしたの？
This is like just...
一緒にいたいんだナナミとずっと一緒に
This is so
やだ
fucked
な。
up, man.
そんな大胆なこと言い出すなんてお兄らしくないよ。熱でもあるの？あ、わかった。からかってるんでしょう。
本気だよ
Please, just speed past this, please. Just get to the reveal.
お兄、それって
Come on.
兄弟として？それとも
Don't.
一人の女の子として？
No. No, this ain't Alabama.
両方
God damn it.
両方。両方か。お兄の気持ち初めて聞けたかも。ナナのことそんな風に思ってたんだ。
Just skip to the bad,
キモい
please.
かな
You are a freak. In this world, you are a pathetic freak. Who, instead of facing reality, decided, fuck it, I give up.
キモくないよ。むしろすごく嬉しい。
At least the previous at least the Taku in the previous routes, even though the bona fide one's like basically a bad ending, at least he stood up and fought. And it was only when his mind was completely broken that he gave up. This time he just kind of retreated into his shell like a coward.
まあ、お兄がそこまで言ってくれたんだし、しょうがないからナナも一緒にいてあげるよ。ただし、一つだけね、条件があるの。
What?
条件。
ね。
Nanami squirmed ever so slightly, her face turned bright red. She then stared directly into my eyes.
キス
No!
してほしいな。
God damn it, just get fucking... Stop. Those were her words. I do everything Nanami asked. My mind was already made up. She and I would live together, just the two of us. I didn't need anything else. As long as I had Nanami, nothing else mattered.
ダメ？
It's a million no's.
兄弟でキスなんて
Yes?
不潔かな。
There are laws about this sort of shit! Go to jail.
そんなことないよ。
Ugh.
お兄。
Ah, God, I regret doing this now. Do not, and you... God damn it. God damn it, those words, Nanami leapt into my arms and kissed me. I was kissing my little sister. My little sister passed through my lips, absorbed with happiness, my feelings, intense fulfillment. I was brimming with love. For some reason, for only just a moment, I felt incredibly sad. Warm drops found their way down my cheeks. Thank you. And as those tears flowed, I vowed deep within my heart, this world where Nanami was, I wouldn't let anyone harm it. What the fuck is this music? I make absolutely sure that it would stay safe, and no matter what happened, I'd always protect it. Ah, this was skip. Thank God I can fucking skip that. Jesus, that was... Reach the Daydream ending. Oh my God. I was gonna record a little bit more, so that way I could begin on the UR route, but goddamn, I need a palate cleanser. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. People in the fucking comments, please tell me it doesn't... No, I... Please tell me it doesn't get that fucking weird in the other routes.